Good afternoon and welcome to the Netball Centre at Loughborough University for WBBL Trophy action between the Leicester Riders and Oakland's Wolves. Wolves coming into this game having defeated Cardiff just a few days ago to make the quarter-finals, winning that game 61-52. Louise Rouse with 15-7 in that game for the young big for Oakland's. The Riders' last game being that WBBL Cup final against the Sevenoaks Suns, and so they'll be coming into it trying to achieve some more silverware in this midway through the season, and another semi-final in the bag. Starters for the Riders will be Winterburn, Rob, Oliver, Henriksdotter and Lappenkupper. And then starters for the Wolves will be Carter, Boros, Sarsen, Milligan and Rouse. And both teams just taking a knee in continued support of the Black Lives Matter movement and to protest racial injustice in this country. And both teams will contest the tip, and it's Oliver who takes it to Winterburn to get us underway. Uses that double screen, looks inside to Henriksdotter, and a little bit too much on the layup. And Oakland's just let off the hook a little. Boros has it. Looks to try and get past Lappenkupper. It's a feet set, shot up, no good. Rebounded by Rouse. And it's the Oakland Wolves who put the first points on the board, 2-0. We saw in the last game that these two teams played. Rouse a factor on the boards, and again a factor on the boards to get started, and Henriksdotter 0 for 2 to start the ball game for the Riders. Carter's going to cross the halfway line, kicks out to Rouse, lines up a long two, and it's good. And two quick scores for Louise Rouse gives the Oakland's Wolves a 4-0 lead in the first minute of the ball game. Riders looking to answer. Winterburn on the perimeter puts up an early shot and rebounded by Milligan. Carter ahead to Sarsen, who ran the lane perfectly but just overcooks the layup. And a fast-paced start for the Wolves. Riders inside with Winterburn is fouled, and she'll head to the free throw line for the bonus point. Foul's going to go on Dorka Boros. And it'll see Holly Winterburn head to the free throw line for the first time this ball game, having just got the Riders off the mark. Converts at the line for the and one, and so it's a 1-point ball game. Carter finds Sarsen. Out to Boros, gets into the paint again. Finds Rouse, who has to kick it out after being swarmed by Oliver. Sarsen shot clock's down to 5, into Rouse. And is good at the front of the rim, and there was no help on the weak side from the Riders defense. And that just allowed Louise Rouse to circle, move in and get the catch, an easy score. Oliver high post, overcooks the pass to Rob. And Oakland's coming into this game having won, as we said, against Cardiff, their first win of the season, but also before that pushed Sevenoaks pretty much all the way in just a 7-point loss. So coming into the game with a little bit of momentum. Riders, on the other hand, still undefeated on the season at 10-0. And there's Rouse again on the board, but it's blocked by Henriksdotter. Lappenkupper is fouled. I was saying the Riders 10-0. Undefeated so far this season. They're 5-0 in league play. This is their first WBBL Trophy game. So both teams, Riders with a little bit more momentum, but both teams with a little bit of momentum coming into the ball game. Oakland's at the minute have started the brighter, but there's that high-low action that the Riders love so much. Oliver finds Winterburn, and Holly Winterburn with all 5 points for the Riders so far. Sossin drives baseline, kicks out to Milligan, lines up the 2. Back rim, no good, but Rouse again on the offensive boards. Boros into the paint, scoop shot, no good, tipped by Rouse. Long rebound comes out, and there's a foul called. Foul's going to go on number 9. That's Hannah Robb for the Leicester Riders. Be her first foul of the ball game. And it'll be a Wolves possession from the side. Carter has it, jab step to get separation, and fouled by Robb. So 2 quick fouls on Hannah Robb. And Amari Carter will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. And Carter, one of those players I think that a little bit underrated coming into the ball game. She comes in with averages of 16 points and 3.3 rebounds. There has to be, in my opinion, one of the shiftiest guards in the WBBL. Has a knack for getting separation from a defender, and we saw that there. She just got some time and space from Hannah Robb and drew the contact on the shot. Makes them both at the free throw line, and the lead back up to 3 for the Wolves. Riders looking inside to Oliver, guarded by Rouse. Oliver fades away, and Kate Oliver makes her money with that short range jumper for 2 and trims it back to a 1-point ball game. 6 minutes 30 to play in the first quarter. Boros has it up high, uses the screen from Rouse, gets downhill, shot clock's down to 5. Rouse head fake out to Milligan. Boros has to get the shot up, and she does, and then there's Sossin on the offensive rebound and a wide open layup. And head coach Jesper Sundberg screaming at the referee. He thought it was a shot clock violation, but the referee said no. Winterburn inside, nice pass to Henriksdotter, who's fouled, and the Riders immediately answer at the other end. Foul's going to go on Louise Rouse. There's going to be a couple of subs on both sides as Hannah Robb heads to the bench. Christina Gaskin comes in for the first time. And then for the Oakland's Wolves, Greta Upperis comes in as Dorka Boros heads to the bench. Henriksdotter at the line, converts on the free throw and ties us up at 10 apiece. Carter again looking to get the Wolves into their offense. Sarsen on the perimeter. Rouse behind the 3-point line. No good, but another offensive rebound for the Wolves, who've been active on the boards in the early part of the game. Shot clock's down to 6. Milligan drives baseline, looks for the dump-off pass. And a jump ball is called. It's going to be an Oakland's possession with 1 second on the shot clock. Carter to inbound. It's going to have to be a catch and shoot. Rouse. And shot clock violation. And Carter just saying to her teammate there, got to be aware of that shot clock. Tough to be able to catch and shoot with just a second though. They probably would have wanted something under the basket for an easy score. Henriksdotter got it by Upperis. Henriksdotter back to back and 1 opportunities for Sarah Henriksdotter. And a foul on Upperis, who's just come into the ball game, and that's going to force head coach Lee Ryan into a timeout to talk it over with his team. And the Leicester Riders just weathering the early storm from the Oakland's Wolves. Biggest lead of the game for the Wolves was only 4. I think they can feel like they can hang and compete with this team, and rightly so based on the first 5 minutes of the game, but a couple of defensive lapses has seen a couple of fouls and free throw opportunities for the Riders. And they've all come on and 1 opportunities as well, which is often a breakdown in some sort of rotation. And then overcompensating with the foul. Riders at the minute finishing through that contact. But Oakland's, when they've got stops, have been able to get out and play in transition. And those second chance points have been huge as well. They have 6 offensive rebounds already in the game. Louise Rouse has 3 of them herself. And if they can really capitalize on those second chance opportunities, they'll be able to stay in this ball game. Two teams have met before. And it was just a couple of weeks ago on the 30th of January. The Riders taking that one 71-48, but Oakland's hung around for a long part of the ball game. Offensive rebound for the Riders out to Henriksdotter, and that's a backbreaker out of the timeout. As I was saying, Wolves hung around with the Riders, and it was only in the fourth quarter that they started to pull away. With Winterburn and Henriksdotter in that game with 15 apiece, as Carter throws up the off-balance 2. And the Riders with another opportunity to extend their lead. Winterburn going downhill to the basket, and it's going to be another foul, I think, on Louise Rouse. And it is. That's the second foul on Rouse. And the Wolves will answer with a sub, as Rouse is going to head out. And Josie Leavold comes into the game for the first time. And then on the other side for the Riders, Kate Oliver heads to the bench, and Katie Janazuska comes in for her first action. Winterburn good on the first at the line. And converts on the second as well, so it's a 7-point lead now for the Riders midway through the first quarter here at Loughborough University. Sarson battling to get open on the perimeter. And a foul called, and I think it was a little bit of a late whistle because Sarah Henriksdotter knew that she probably had her hand in the cookie jar a little bit too long. And Upris ripping through to get free. So shot clock resets to 14. Sarson looking to drive baseline. Wayward pass is taken away by Henriksdotter. Dump off pass to Janazuska, and it's good. And the lead now 9. And that's the danger with this Leicester Riders team, is if they get stops, they do want to get out and play in transition. They have players that run the lanes really well. Carter kicks out to Milligan. 18-footer, a little bit long. Rebound comes out to Sarson, who finds Upris wide open. And that's a score that Oakland's needed just to stop the bleeding a little bit. It's been a 10-0 run up until that point. Lappenkopper looking to find a pass over the top to Gaskin, no good. A little bit too much on the pass to Henriksdotter. And it's taken away by the Wolves. Leavold leaves it on the front of the rim, but Sarson there to clean it up and put it home, and it trimmed the lead to 5. And it looked like Winterburn was going to slow it down then, but then decides to go all on her own. Kicks out to Janazuska for 3, in and out. And the rebound gathered by Milligan. Milligan gets past the defender, kicks to the corner to Upris for 3. It's good, and it's a 7-0 run for the Oakland's Wolves to get them back within 2. Winterburn to the basket. Too strong on the layup. And Upris will run the break herself. Upris crosses over to get past Lappenkopper. Wild hook shot though, and it's rebounded by Gaskin. Gaskin's pass deflected away. And Oakland's have an opportunity to tie here. Leavold stops behind the 3-point line. No good. And it's deflected. Winterburn comes down with it and will just slow the team down to get into their half-court set. Winterburn behind the 3-point line. No good. Rebounded by Upris. Upris fakes the handoff, goes baseline. And both teams taking a lot of contact on the drives, but the referee's letting them play as Lappenkopper stops and pops. And a wild few possessions as no team really has got a look. And then there's a foul there on Holly Winterburn. And a timeout called by head coach Jesper Sundberg. I think that's going to be one just to settle his offense down a little bit. Oakland's have gone on that 7-0 run, and that'll be the perfect response that Lee Ryan would have wanted out of the timeout. But Jesper Sundberg's probably going to be unhappy with the looks that his team's been getting on the last few possessions. Settling for jumpers in transition when they have had scoring opportunities when they've got to the basket. And they've also put some pressure on the free throw line when they have done. Seen Oakland's into foul trouble in the team fouls, in the penalty. Both teams actually now in the penalty, so any more for the last 2 minutes of the quarter we'll see them shooting free throws. But Oakland's massively aggressive on the offensive boards. They have 8 of their 11 rebounds are offensive rebounds, and they've got 8 second chance points off them. Riders on the other end, 3 second chance points of their own off 3 offensive rebounds, but the Oakland's Wolves been super aggressive on the offensive board. Sarsen with 3, Rouse with 3. And if they continue to do that, they will continue to hang around in this ball game, and they'll feel like they can compete off the back of those last 2 games, and rightly so as well. Carter finds Boros looking to drive baseline, cut off by Winterburn. Boros this time gets it up, back rim, no good, rebounded by Oliver. Winterburn looking for the cut in Oliver. Gaskin maybe at the high-low, but finds Ainge in the corner for 3. Robin Ainge straight off the bench. Hits the wide-open triple in the corner. And it's back to a 5-point ball game with 1 minute 18 in the first quarter of play. Boros penetrates, kicks out to Carter. Carter separation on that jab step again. 2's no good, and it's rebounded by Winterburn. Winterburn inside to Oliver, has the mismatch, got it by Boros. And Oakland's doing a great job of crowding Oliver on the catch. Not giving her anything easy. Boros crosses over into the paint, kicks out to Carter. And she had a shooting opportunity but turned it down, and Riders do a good job of containing it. This time after the breakdown, Carter gets the free up. No good, rebounded by Gaskin. And there's 2 possessions probably left in the quarter. About 10 seconds separating the game clock and shot clock. Winterburn inside. Throws it out of bounds. And it was Daisy Porter over on that far side that jumped in front of the drive. And not often you'd see a team helping off the strong side corner, but it forced Winterburn into the turnover. And that means Oakland's are probably going to get the last possession of the quarter. Shot clocks are turned off, 15 on the game clock. Carter up high. Levold reverses through Upras. Upras trying to get away from Ains to the basket for 2. And the Riders will just let the game clock expire for the first quarter, where they lead 22-19. But Oakland's making them really work for that 3-point lead. Also done a phenomenal job just being relentless on the boards. And scoring-wise, it's Greta Upras who leads the Oakland Wolves with 7 off the bench, Rouse with 6, And Sarsen with 4. For the Riders, Henriksdottir has 8, shooting 3 for 5 from the field. Winterburn chipping in with 7 points and 4 rebounds already. Played the full 10 minutes of the first quarter as well. Both teams short-handed today. Riders playing with just 9. Missing Erin Hicken, Whitney Allen and Ella Clark. Does make them a little bit smaller in their front court rotation. I mean, it still leaves Kate Oliver and Christina Gaskin, so they have enough, but both teams playing small really. Henriksdottir slide into the 4 spot from the wing, and then at the other end for the Wolves, playing without Lizzie Harrison and Tia Charlton today. Both picking up injuries, and then they'd already been without a couple of their bigs anyway. So Oakland's playing really banged up at the moment, but they're competing and they're hanging around. And I was saying, when these two teams played before, they did exactly that. They hung around for 3 quarters and competed all the way. It was only really in the 4th that the Riders started to pull away. I think it was their experience and size that gave them the advantage in that game. At the minute, playing small, Oakland's are matching up pretty well. Kept Kate Oliver quiet so far, just 2 points and 2 rebounds. Here is Oliver inside, tries to find Jana Zuska on the backdoor cut, and that's one of those where experience just shows for Jana Zuska. If she would have let the ball go out of bounds, the Riders would have had the possession, but she tried to keep it in and stepped on the baseline as she did. So Oakland's now, with it being a 1-possession game, have a chance to trim or tie, and Upper's driving baseline does trim into that lead. It's a 1-point ball game. Winterburn hands off to Ainge. High post into Oliver. Oliver attacking, swarmed by Cotter, and then fouled. And if that one's on Louise Rouse, that's going to be her 3rd personal foul, and it is. And that's going to be a real shame for the Oakland's Wolves. Rouse with 6 points and 4 rebounds already in the game, but heads to the bench with 3 fouls. I didn't see an awful lot of contact. Lee Ryan talking to her now before she heads to the bench about standing straight up. It looked like she had good position. Oliver converts at the line. Boros tries to answer quickly at the other end, but no good. Winterburn now finds Ainge in the corner, steps out of bounds. Just looking to try and get the quick step on the defender, but stepped on the sideline. So Oakland's let off the hook a little bit. Carter now guarded by Ainge. Reversal through Milligan. Milligan looking to attack. Tries the little pocket pass to Upris. Is taken away. Jana Zuska finds Winterburn ahead. Winterburn loses the handle. And Oakland's again have another opportunity to trim into the Riders' lead. 25-21, 8 minutes 30 to play before halftime. Milligan has it up high. Reversal to Upris. Gets a feet set. No good, and it's rebounded by Gaskin. Winterburn again looking to push the pace for the Riders. This time Jana Zuska in the corner. Steps on the line for 2. No good, and Oakland's the last few possessions keeping the Riders scoreless. And Boros good for 2, so it's a 2-point ball game. Starting to just get a little bit chippy out on the floor as well. Jana Zuska tries to drive baseline, taken away, finds Oliver for 2. Rebound again by Amari Cotter. Cotter to Leavold. Oakland's just settle it down with Milligan up high. Boros going at Winterburn, tries to kick it to the corner. And a technical foul is called. And it's going on Kate Oliver. So there'll be a free throw to come, and it's going to be Upperus that heads to the line to take it. And then referees have deemed that no one had possession of the ball. It was Oliver who hit the deck on the drive. So they've called a jump ball after the free throw, which Upperus makes it a 1-point ball game. Oliver just continuing the conversation with the referee. She needs to be careful. But it looks like we're about to get ready to carry on playing basketball. Carter kicks it into Upperus. Pass over the top to Porter, almost deflected by Rob. Porter gets the 2 up and is corralled by Oliver. Gonna play point guard herself. Trying to find Ainge on the backdoor cut, and it's deflected by Carter. Ball now in the hands of Boros. Dorka Boros comes off the screen into the paint, stripped away by Ainge. And Ainge goes straight to the basket for 2 and the foul. And Robin Ainge getting the steal, and she'll head to the free throw line, doing a little bit of everything for the Riders off the bench. Takes Ainge up to 5 points personal in the ball game. Comes into the game with 7 point, 2 rebound, 2 assist averages. Also plays for the Loughborough Riders team in Division 1, where she's had a couple of Player of the Week honours as well. So stepping up and competing for the Riders in the WBBL today, and now she's tasked with guarding Amari Carter. Carter gets by her into the paint. And then it's deflected out of bounds by Ainge, so it'll be an Oakland's possession from the baseline. Milligan has it in the corner. Finds Porter on the back door. Porter has to turn and fade away. Gets her own rebound. Porter backing down on Hannah Robb, and a foul is called. That's going to be the 3rd personal foul on Hannah Robb. And this ball game getting really, really chippy. Porter at the line, no good on the first. And no good on the second, and then Oliver with the rebound pushes ahead to Ainge. Finds Rob in the corner. Nice ball reversal by the Riders. Oliver with the head fake to get the defender in the air and goes straight down the lane. And the lead is back up to 6 for the Riders. Oakland looking to answer. Upperus. Currently the leading scorer for the Wolves with 10. Finds Milligan on the perimeter. Milligan attacking. Gets the hook up. No good. And rebounded by Lapp and Cupper. Kicks to Rob. Gets her feet set. Three's a little bit short. And then it's tipped out of bounds by Lapp and Cupper. And timeout called by Lee Ryan. That'll be his 2nd of the half, so that's the last one for him. Jesper Sundberg has 1 left, and I think that might just be a timeout to try and find a little bit of offense for them. They've got a few possessions now without a score. And then just looking over as well to the only other WBBL game taking place today between the Newcastle Eagles and the BA London Lions. That one's BBL Championship action. And the Eagles are up by 1, 27-26. Alison Gorrell with 14 points already for the Eagles. Over half her team's points in the ball game. A couple of big-time scorers going at it in that one with Gorrell and Breen. Looks to be neck and neck in the early part of the ball game there. And it's not too different here at Loughborough University. Oakland's Wolves have been super aggressive on the offensive board, which has allowed them the opportunities to get second chance points. As we were saying earlier on, 8 second chance points. They're up to 10 offensive rebounds now as well. And when you're struggling to get your offense going a little bit, that's one way to do it. Just being completely relentless on the boards. Getting extra opportunities. And that's what's seen them take 11 more shots than the Riders so far in the ball game. So back underway. Carter has to get free from Ainge. Milligan now. Hands off to Porter. Uses the screen from Milligan. Stops and pops. Rattles around a little bit. The offensive board almost back in the hands of the Oakland's Wolves, but Oliver poked it away. Oliver now inside, swarmed on the catch, gets her own rebound out to Ainge. Corner free again for Robin Ainge. And that's 2 triples from the corner for Ainge. Takes her up to 8 points personal. Sorry, 9 points personal in the ball game. Carter into the paint, kicks out to Milligan. Back to Carter. Takes the dribble to get some separation. Doesn't get the friendly roll. And Winterburn's there to gather the miss. Oliver hands off to Lappenkopper. Inside to Henriksdotter in the post. Doesn't get the friendly roll. Uppers came down with a rebound but fell off balance and out of bounds as she did. And so the Riders will get another opportunity. Lappenkopper to inbound. Has to go over the top to Oliver. Oliver behind the 3-point line. It's good. And all of a sudden the lead is 12 for the Leicester Riders. Oliver now up to 10 points personal to go along with 6 rebounds. Uppers. Good footwork there by Greta Uppers to get free of the defender and just line up an easy 2 in the paint. Lappenkopper back off the handoff. Oliver a little bit too much on the pass. Henriksdotter keeps it inbound but only into the hands of Amari Carter. Former Arizona guard attacking the paint. And the referee calls the foul on the floor. It's going to go on Anna Lappenkopper. So it'll be a sideline possession for the Wolves. So it'll be a baseline possession. Carter to inbound. Into Leavold. Sarson with no pass to make, has to penetrate. Kicks it out to Leavold in the corner. Shot clock's down to 6. Sarson gets it back, puts up the 3. No good, and there again are the Wolves crashing the boards. This time Lappenkopper comes down with it. Finds Henriksdotter on the rim run, wide open for the left-handed layup. And then Winterburn gambles on the pass, so the Wolves have the advantage. Uppers, transition 3 is good. And it's a single-digit lead again for the Riders, now at 9, 38-29. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first half. Ema Morris into the ball game for first action for the Riders. Oliver fading away, front rim, no good. Rebounded by Carter. And you just sense these 3 minutes could be really important for the Oakland Wolves as Upris lines up another three. And almost on cue, Greta Upris back-to-back three-pointers for the Oakland Wolves, trims that lead down to 6. And head coach Jesper Sundberg taking a timeout to talk to his team. But my goodness, Greta Upris comes into the game averaging 12.5 points per game and 3.8 rebounds. She's up to 15 points already for the Oakland Wolves. And showing why she's a part of the Estonian national team. And was recently away with them as well for Eurobasket qualification. She is doing it all for them at the moment. And even more so off the bench. So this is the first of the WBBL Trophy Quarter-Finals. Looking down the line at the other matchups. Coming up over the next few weeks, the Newcastle Eagles will take on the Manchester Mystics on February the 25th. And then on March the 3rd, we got a double-header weekend as the London Lions play Sevenoaks in what's probably the tie of the quarter-finals. And then Nottingham take on Durham on that same day. One of these teams will be the first into the semi-final draw. Lappenkopper has it up high, trying to get some sort of advantage. Finds Morris, left corner three, and the Riders have loved this near side corner three in the ball game. It's the 4th they've hit from that corner, and the first for Emir Morris. Carter at the other end attacking hard, and will head to the free throw line. Foul's called on Lappenkopper. So it's Carter at the line for 2. Makes them both, and all 4 of her points coming from the free throw line, being kept relatively quiet. She's 10th in the league in scoring at 16 points a game, but no field goals so far for Amari Carter. Oliver Levold just gambled on the pass. Left Oliver wide open under the rim. So it's back up to 9 now, 43-38. Carter trying to get free of Winterburn. Hands off to Sarson. Beth Sarson backing down on Winterburn, manages to break free. Boros kicks to Levold in the corner, lines one up. No good, and rebounded by Winterburn for a 6th rebound of the ball game. Oliver up high. And Kate Oliver said she makes her money in the paint. And she loves that elbow jumper just as much. And she's now up to 14 points personal for the Leicester Riders. Levold, short corner 2 to answer is no good. And it's a 7th rebound of the game for Holly Winterburn. Winterburn over the top to Oliver. Looking to exploit the mismatch and is stripped away. Carter now in transition. Carter finds Sarson. Sarson! So much contact, no call under the basket. And a jump ball is called, so it'll be a Riders' possession. I don't know how that wasn't called a foul there. So final minute of play here at Loughborough University in the first half, this WBBL Trophy Quarter-Final. Winterburn slowing the Riders right down. And a foul's called under the basket. It's going to go on Josie Levold. Called for a hold as Oliver was trying to get free. Be a baseline possession. It's just the third team foul of the quarter for the Wolves. Winterburn over the top to Oliver. Oliver's two, no good. And Carter comes down with the ball. Carter ahead to Sarson for three, and it's good. So 4 seconds separating the game clock and shot clock. Winterburn. Morris in the corner for three again. No good. There's Gaskin to clean it up. Kicks out to Winterburn. Back inside to Gaskin. Oliver. Sorry, Winterburn there got fouled hard by Upras. Looked like she was trying to wrap her up to stop the drive. And so Winterburn will head to the line to shoot two. Ollie Winterburn almost having a triple-double in that WBBL Cup win versus Sevenoaks just a week ago. 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. And she's up to 9 points and 8 rebounds already in the first half for the Riders today. Boros, game clock's down to 2. Boros has got to get a shot up and gets blocked by Oliver on the buzzer. So that at the end of the first half here at Loughborough University, it's the Leicester Riders 47, the Oakland Wolves 37. And we're going to take a short break for half time. We'll be back with you in just a little over 10 minutes time, so make sure you stay with us. Welcome back to Loughborough University, where we are for WBBL Trophy action. Both teams coming out of the halftime break a little bit early. They still had a minute on the clock, but the referee's deciding we're good to go. So here we are, Oakland's with possession. Boros looking to attack baseline. Driving lane cut off by Winterburn. Overshoots it a little bit. Boros with that stop and pop too from the mid-range that she loves. Just a little bit too long, and the riders come down with a stop. Gaskin now reverses to Oliver up high. Winterburn loses the footing. Shot clock's down to 4. Winterburn turns and shoots it. No good. Long rebound out to Lapp and Cupper. And this time Winterburn will just slow the riders down. Looking to get the seal on Boros. Gets it inside. Fades away. No good. Boros tips it back to Carter. And a strong start for Oakland's on the defensive end. Carter finds Milligan. Hands it back off. And Carter's fouled by Gaskin. So he starts to inbound for the Wolves from the sideline. Gets it in to Amari Carter. Again guarded by Robin Ainge. Gets past her, pulls up at the elbow, banks it home. And that's the first field goal of the game for Amari Carter. Just 4 points in the first half. All coming from the free throw line. Oliver up high, elbow jumper. No good. Big rebound by Carter. Leading all the way back to grab that one. And she's going to go down the other end and get fouled. And it's 2 quick fouls for the Leicester Riders. That one's going to be assigned to Robin Ainge. And that'll be just what the Wolves want. If they can get the Riders in the penalty in the early part of the game, they're going to be at the free throw line a bunch. So 2 quick fouls for the Riders. Sarson has it now, finds Carter. Carter over the top of Ainge, and there's a foul called. And the signal for that one was a little bit too quick, so I didn't quite catch who that foul was on. I think it might have been on Kate Oliver for a hold on the box out. Oakland still have possession. Milligan has it up high. Hands off to Carter. Carter fade away too. That's a tough shot, but it's rebounded on the offensive end by Boros. And then deflected by Ainge. Oakland's, the story of the game for them has been the offensive board. They've got 11 in the game. Carter tries to find Milligan on the roll. Rouse gets it off the deflection, but blocked by Oliver. Winterburn. Advance pass to Ainge. Oliver, fake handoff, 2. Way short, rebounded by Milligan, and Sarson now has it. Carter again looking to get into the dribble series, fading away, and it's a couple of tough looks by Amari Carter. She can make those shots, but that's been 3 possessions now where they've been off-balance jumpers, and when you're down by 8, those 3 possessions would have been huge, and that's why, because Kate Oliver hits a 3 at the other end. And instead of it being a 2-possession ball game, it's now an 11-point lead for the Riders. Sarson kicks out to Milligan in the paint, backing down, spin move. Milligan again, a ton of contact. No foul called on her, so Riders have an opportunity in transition. Ainge gets a feet set. Robin Ainge again from the 3-point line. She's 3 for 3 from long range. Carter across the halfway, advance pass to Sarson. And then a foul called on Robin Ainge, and someone's gone down hard on the far side. And it's Christina Gaskin that's gone down. Looks like it's an ankle. And she's okay as she jumps straight back up. It was one of those that looked worse than I think it was, but head coach Jesper Sundberg's going to get her a sub just to see how it is. Physio will come over and check it out. Action back underway. Sarsen in the corner, attacking on Winterburn, and dribbles it out of bounds, so the Riders get possession back. 14-point ball game, biggest lead of the game for the Riders so far. Oliver threads the needle inside to Winterburn. Out to Lappenkopper, short corner 2, front rim. Rebounded by the Wolves. Milligan running the point for the Wolves this time. Backs it back out. Trying to find the handoff because Cardo's denied by Lappenkopper. Sarsen behind the 3-point line though. And not close on the free for Beth Sarsen. So limited scoring from both teams so far in the second half. It's just a 6-2 quarter after 4 minutes of play. Januszewska inside to Winterburn, kicks out to Oliver. Oliver for free! Kate Oliver with 2 big triples and extends the lead to 17. Sarsen penetrating baseline. Little hezzy dribble, then kicks it out to Upperus. Wild hook shot. And foul's going to go on Sarah Henriksdotter, so Upperus will head to the line for 2. And Leavold will check into the game as Rouse heads to the bench. Upperus good on the first. Doesn't get the roll on the second, and it's rebounded by Oliver. Up to 8 rebounds in the ball game to go along with 17 points. Sorry, 20 points for Kate Oliver after that last free. Winterburn, step back free. Back rim. Oakland's have an opportunity in transition. Sarsen left wide open for free. And again, Beth Sarsen struggling from long range on the last couple of attempts. Lappenkopper finds Oliver. Oliver's going for free. No good, and rebounded by Leavold. That was a heat check from Kate Oliver. Boros kicks out to Sarsen. Back rim. Oliver gets the rebound and splits the trap on the boards. Advance pass Januszewska. Januszewska looking over the top to Henriksdotter. Takes a deflection and misses everybody. Goes out of bounds for a Riders possession. Lappenkopper, bit of a wild pass, and then a foul called on Upperus. Sub for the Riders as Lappenkopper's going to head to the bench. Hannah Robb will check back in. Didn't start the second half, but I think in part due to those 3 fouls that she picked up in the first half. Just 5 minutes 46 of action for Hannah Robb. Winterburn off the handoff from Oliver. Januszewska, shot clock's down to 7. Henriksdotter finds Winterburn, shot clock down to 3. Winterburn gets fouled, heading to the basket. Foul's going to go on Leavold. Her second, and so Holly Winterburn heads to the line for her 6th and 7th attempts from the free throw line. Good on the first. And friendly roll on the second. So it takes Winterburn into double digits, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists for the GB junior guard. Amari Cotter into the paint. Milligan all alone, twos, no good. Januszewska going up for the rebound. Henriksdotter head fake to get the defender in the air, spins in the paint. Henriksdotter blocked by Leavold. And then Winterburn strips it back away for the Riders. And Oliver's fouled inside. Foul's going to go on Greta Uppris. Just holding her after I think Oliver had the advantage on the cut. And that's the 4th foul on Greta Uppris. And that one's really going to hurt the Wolves. Uppris, the leading scorer, 19 points off the bench. The only Oakland's Wolves player in double digits as well. And you'd expect her now to take a seat, at least for the remainder of the 3rd quarter and probably for the start of the 4th. And when they're trailing by 18 and in need of a scoring run, having only scored 3 points this quarter, it's really going to hurt the Wolves. And just taking another quick look across at the only WBBL Championship game taking place today. And the Newcastle Eagles are currently still leading the Barking Abbey London Lions by 1 point, 42-41, midway through the 3rd quarter in that one. And Alison Goro up to 21 points personal in that game. Back here at Loughborough, and it's Januszewska to inbound. Winterburn does a great job to catch the inbound pass. The up and under shot no good. Robb gets the offensive board though, and out to Winterburn, who lines up the three. And can't get it on the 2nd attempt either. Milligan looking for the pass. Gets Carter on the back door. Carter finds Rouse. That's a great find from Amari Carter. And she's demanding so much attention from this Riders defense. She had 2 players running at her off the drive. Winterburn into Henriksdotter. Oliver, good, nice give and go action. Henriksdotter's layup's no good though. And Milligan again comes down with a rebound. Milligan going coast to coast. Can't quite get the roll on the layup. And Oliver's going to look to do the same. Advance pass to Hannah Robb, all alone. And the Riders lead back up to its biggest at 18. Carter across the halfway line. Gets it into the hands of Daisy Porter. Porter gets past Winterburn and into the paint. Rouse's twos, no good though. And Winterburn with the board. Winterburn shaking and baking, kicks out to Henriksdotter. Henriksdotter for 3, no good. 2 Riders players battling for the same offensive board. It's Hannah Robb that comes down with it. Inside to Oliver, then Winterburn on the fake and the floater. And fouled. Fouls on Louise Rouse. I think that's going to be her 4th as well. And if it is her 4th. So that's both Rouse and Uppers on 4 fouls now for the Oakland's Wolves. It's going to see them go super small as Boros comes into the game. It means they slide Leovold and Milligan to the 2 forward positions. Although it's going to do them a favour that Jesper Sundberg has subbed out Kate Oliver to get her some rest. Porter drives baseline. Again, a ton of contact. And Daisy Porter can probably feel pretty hard done by there. It looked like she got hacked on the layup attempt, and then she gets called for the foul after trying to get back in front. And with them being in team fouls, that's going to send Hannah Robb to the free throw line. But personally, I thought Porter had done a pretty good job of getting advantage and probably should have been having free throws of her own. Rob good on the first, and we're now up to a 20-point ball game. 62-42, the Riders lead. Rob averaging 8.5 points per game. Converts on them both at the line to take her up to 4 for this ball game. Limited minutes for Hannah Robb due to those early fouls in the first half. Porter trying to find Leovold. Gets it back off her teammate's face, and then Boros fouled by Henriksdotter, who looked like she got a typical Roger Harrison stare down. She was trying to contest the call, but there's no chance of winning that argument, so Boros is going to head to the line to shoot 2. Boros in her 3rd year with the Oakland's Wolves, comes into the game averaging 9.3 points and 5 rebounds. Struggled from the floor today though, just 1 for 9. And I thought she had a foot on the line as she took the jumper, but she's been awarded 3 free throws. She converts on all 3, so takes her up to 5 points personal. Henriksdotter looking to go at Leovold. Pull-up 2's no good. Another offensive board for the Riders. Ball deflecting around all over the place, but it's Daisy Porter who has it. Porter comes to a jump stop. Tries the up and over, but it's no good, and Gaskin has the ball. Rob, high post to Gaskin. Gaskin for 3. And it's a 21-point game. 30 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Boros comes off the screen from Milligan. Out to Daisy Porter. Nice pass by Porter inside to Boros, who I think she had the layup, but decided to go with the fake to get the 2nd attempt. Into the paint again for Boros. Fadeaway 2's no good again. Bodies on the floor, and that'll be a jump ball. And it's a Leicester Riders possession with 5 seconds left in the quarter. They roll it out. Rob picks it up. Comes off the screen from Gaskin, and it deemed to be an offensive foul. I think she leant in just a little bit to try and get some sort of separation. It'll be the 2nd foul on Gaskin. So 2.6 seconds left on the game clock for the 3rd quarter. Oakland's will get an opportunity to get a shot up. Boros into Carter. Carter has to heave it. Not even close. And at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's 66-45. And 2 big double-doubles already for 2 of the Leicester Riders' best players. Holly Winterburn with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Kate Oliver with 20 points and 10 rebounds. Both of them also contributing with assists as well. Winterburn with 4, Oliver with 5. At the other end for the Wolves, It's only Greta Uppras who's in double digits, shooting a very efficient 7 for 10 from the field for 19 points. But those 4 personal fouls really hurting the Oakland's Wolves as she had to sit for the end of the third. Same with Louise Rouse as well. Rouse 8 points and 4 rebounds, but limited to just 12 minutes of action because of that foul trouble. And interestingly, looking at the schedule, these two teams will match up again, I believe, on Wednesday at Oakland's in WBBL Championship action. Although if this season's anything to go by, fixtures seem to be changing left, right and centre at the moment, as teams continue to deal with the coronavirus pandemic. But if they are to play on Wednesday, that would be the final matchup of the two teams. Riders, as we said earlier on in the broadcast, taking the first game between these two sides 71-48. We're already in a more high scoring ball game at 66-45 with another 10 minutes of action to play. All to play for in the other game today as well, that WBBL Championship game between the Eagles and Lions, all tied up at 49 apiece. At the same point we are here, just about to head into the start of the fourth quarter. It's Oakland's getting us underway for the final 10 minutes of action. Carter turning the corner, finds Milligan, trying to get into the post. Milligan's hook shot no good, comes up with her own board, out to Boros. And then Rob's tripped, but Riders will retain possession. So Rob heads over the half court line, gets it into the hands of Henriksdotter up high. Gaskin kicks out to Morris behind the 3-point line. Morris no good, but Januszewska there to clean up the miss. Rob kicks it out to Gaskin from long range. Hits the back of the rim. There's Januszewska again there. Wild pass by Morris to find Rob. Rob's free is no good. And a foul called under the basket. That one's going to go on Katie Januszewska. Just jostling for position with Beth Sarson. So first minute of play, and we've only had essentially two possessions, neither team getting a score on the board. Sarson comes off the screen, Riders switch the coverage. Milligan again looking to get into the post and gets fouled. Fouls on Christina Gaskin, that'll be her third personal foul. So Milligan heads to the line, looking for her first points of the ball game. Makes the first. Makes it a 20-point game. And makes the second. So the first 2 points of the game for Milligan, but she has got 10 rebounds on the board to go along with 2 assists, leading the team in rebounds. Henriksdotter looking inside to Gaskin, stripped away from Levold. Boros comes up with the ball. Boros taken away by Januszewska. Januszewska over the top to Rob, but pass just kind of overshot the drive. In that moment, you really want Katie Januszewska to just look at that bounce pass to Rob so that it delivers it right in front of her. Putting the pass over the top of the defender, it just meant Rob had to jump for the ball rather than gathering it in her steps. And then the Riders turn over the subsequent inbound play. Boros has it up high. Carter penetrating, gets fouled. I think that one's going to go on Hannah Robb. It is, that's her 4th personal foul. And that's the 18th foul of the game for the Riders. Inbound pass taken away by Morris. Advances it ahead to Henriksdottir. And Henriksdottir's pass is deflected. Leavold comes up with it. Sarsen finds Milligan under the basket. No good. Rebounded by Gaskin. And Gaskin got it tightly by Milligan. Somehow Gaskin keeps a hold of the ball. Gets it back up high. Cross-court pass to Rob. Shot clock's down to 4. Rob finds Morris. Morris has to put up a long 3. No good. And that'll be a shot clock violation. And so Oakland's will get the ball back. Currently trailing by 19 points. And it's a triple sub for the Wolves. As Leavold and Carter are the 2 subs. That's the first time Amari Carter was checked out of the ball game. Daisy Porter inside gets wrapped up, and so the Riders will get the ball back. Lappenkopper now for the Riders, getting them into their half-court set. It's it in the hands to Winterburn, flips it back to Lappenkopper. Januszewska, Winterburn off the screen, gets the switch, looking to attack Rouse, gets inside. And it's a strong take for Holly Winterburn. Takes her up to 14 points in the ball game. And the pass trickling out of bounds. Sub for the Riders as Gaskin heads to the bench and Oliver comes back in. Kate Oliver on 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Also got 2 blocks to go along with that. Oliver immediately getting the catch. Down in the low block, fading away from Rouse. Doesn't quite get the friendly roll on the home rims, and it's Oakland's who almost turned the ball over. And it's going to see a timeout taken by head coach Lee Ryan. And after trailing by 10 at half time, where it was 47 to 37, Oakland's have been held to just 10 points so far in the second half, 8 in the third, 2 in the second. Riders 19 in the third, only 2 in 3 minutes of action for them in the fourth. But with 6 minutes left to play in the ball game, it's safe to say that this one's going to be a wrap. Oakland's going to need some sort of run over the next couple of minutes to give themselves any sort of chance. Ideally, they've got to get it down to a 9 or 10 point ball game within a couple of minutes. Otherwise, I just think they're going to leave themselves way too much to do. And based on how this second half has gone so far, I can't see that coming. The foul trouble for both Rouse and Uprush has really hurt them this second half. Uprush providing the majority of their scoring. Rouse has it up high now, reversing it through Milligan. It's in the hands of Greta Uprush. Uprush inside to Rouse. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Those two, if they've been able to have them on the floor for more than what they have done, I think they might be a little bit closer in this ball game. Oliver over the top to Winterburn. Doubled on the catch. Nice find to Katie Januszewska under the basket. Januszewska 4 points on the board now for her. Uprush goes behind the back. Kicks it out to Rouse. Sets the screen for Sarsen. Shot clock's down to 5. Uprush. Wild shot is good for Greta Uprush. That's 21 points now for the Estonian international. Winterburn up and under at the other end to answer. And blew straight past Uprush for that lay-in. Rouse for free at the other end. And 18 points now, the Riders lead, 72-54. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Lappenkupper fouled going to the basket. And a sub as Hannah Robb heads to the bench. Robin Ainge coming back into the game. Lappenkupper at the line, no good on the first. Good on the second. And this Riders defense have traditionally, or statistically should I say, been holding teams to the mid-50s all season long, and that's where Oakland's are at the minute on 54. Sarsen inside to Rouse. Finds Porter. Porter's shot a little bit wild. Milligan, body on the floor, trying to get the rebound, but it comes up in the hands of Anna Lappenkupper. Robin Ainge out on the perimeter. Winterburn has the post up. Nice extra pass from Ainge to Lappenkupper's corner three. But no good, and Porter comes up with the defensive board. And is then deflected out of bounds. Inbound pass to Carter over on that far corner. Reversal to Uprush, stripped away by Holly Winterburn. Winterburn gonna go coast to coast. No good, and Uprush does a good job to get back and get the boards. And neither team letting up in this game. Januszewska trying to dive on the loose ball. Uprush kicks out to Carter for free. Front rim, no good. Rebound comes up in the hands of Kate Oliver. Oliver, backdoor pass to Ainge. Kicks it out to Januszewska for free. No good, and rebounded by Uprush, and then Uprush fouled by Oliver. And that'll be the third foul for Oliver. It'll be the 4th team foul for the Riders, so the next one will put them in the penalty. Rouse gets it to Milligan. Just about gets open from Lappenkupper. Gets it to Boros. Boros stops and pops. No good. Struggling to get anything to go now on the offensive end, the Oakland's Wolves. Riders' defense has really put the clamps on in the second half. Lappenkupper finds Oliver on the pop, and the free is good for Kate Oliver. She's now 4 for 5 from long range in the game. And a 22-point game, the Riders lead into the final 2 minutes. And that's an 8-second violation on the Oakland's Wolves. And that's got to be frustrating for Coach Ryan on the Oakland's bench. Lappenkupper to Winterburn behind the arc. Winterburn, and it's back-to-back triples for the Leicester Riders. And then Upperus fouled by Winterburn, just a little bit over-aggressive on the closeout, so Upperus will go to the free throw line. Upperus good with the first. No good on the second though, but takes her to 22 points personal in the game. Oliver with the rebound. Deflected pass. Rouse can't quite keep it in bounds though. So the Riders will get possession on this near side. Winterburn into Lappenkupper. And Lappenkupper tripped. And then Januszewska throws it out of bounds. Boros to inbound, gets it into Carter. Carter still being guarded full court by the Riders defense. Rouse gets free out on the perimeter. Milligan attacking Januszewska with the left hand all the way to the cup. Januszewska skips across to Oliver up high, looking for the handoff with Winterburn. Has to backpedal out to get it. Comes off the screen, gets the switch again with Rouse into the paint. And easy two for Holly Winterburn. 21 points now for the former WBBL Young Player of the Year. She fortunately grabs the defensive board after the long rebound, and there's 3 seconds separating the game clock and shot clock. So the Riders will get an offensive possession. Winterburn finds Januszewska, corner three. And a foul called. That's going to go on Louise Rouse for a push. And it'll be her 5th foul of the game, so she has to head to the bench, but there's only 6 seconds left to play. Angel looked to inbound for the Riders, throws it over the top to Winterburn. And Winterburn will just dribble it out for the Leicester Riders. So it's the Riders who advance in the WBBL Trophy, taking the victory 81-57 over the Oakland's Wolves. Bright sparks for the Wolves. Greta Uppras off the bench with 22 points. Louise Rouse with 13, but both of those girls limited to around 20-25 minutes for the two of them, and that really hurt the Oakland's Wolves offense. At the other end for the Riders, two big performances from their two go-to players and huge index ratings for the two of them. Kate Oliver with 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Ollie Winterburn with 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. The two of them pretty much matching each other, and it will be those Leicester Riders who advance to the WBBL Trophy semi-final. The next quarter-final matchup on the 25th between the Newcastle Eagles and Manchester Mystics. So that'll wrap it all up here at Loughborough University. Thank you for joining us. I've been Liam Jefferson, and we look forward to seeing you join us again. Good night.